breaking news. Keep a lookout post and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, an army of firefighters battled flames at the Perk plant yesterday, with many of them still on the scene this morning.
Plus, the community came together in downtown Bangor to remember Virginia Cookson, who was murdered last week in her home.
And a new study assessing Maine's roads is showing that a large portion of them are in pretty poor condition. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have all those stories, including the latest from Orrington, where officials are urging people not only in Orrington but in Hampden to keep their windows closed this morning. They're concerned about the smoke rising from the Perk plant. So we'll have the latest on that fire coming up. But first, to check out the forecast, and pretty quiet in our neck of the woods, just clouds.
Pretty chilly in comparison to the past couple days, too.
Yeah, fall is definitely upon us.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Conrad Sapinski with that forecast.
All right, our first weather this morning is brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the perfect fit for your new fall footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. All right, my friends, good morning. It is Wednesday, but another good start to the day. Of course, a little bit cooler. We are seeing a bit more clouds outside. At least it's not raining, right? Of course, it's not snowing with that four-letter word. I don't even want to talk about that just yet. Now, back in the 40s here in town, right up at Rockland and then into Bar Harbor, Machias, you're seeing some cooler temps north of Machias, even some 30s outside. But overall, though, 40s taking over the state of Maine. Lots of cold air, not only in Maine, but all over the country. Take a look at this. It's a little push of some cooler air right down from Canada. We're talking 40s and even some 50s. Of course, Florida's like 40s and 50s. What do you mean? We're close to 80 degrees to start out the day. So, of course, Florida is nice and toasty, but up north, Midwest, upper Midwest, you are a bit chilly. And this is the beginning of that cooler air making its way down south. Now, for today, though, folks, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be closer to average, right at 63 degrees, just a light breeze out of the southeast, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, for tonight, though, we're looking at mid to upper 40s. Partly cloudy skies. Yes, once again, we are looking at areas of dense fog, calm conditions as well. So this morning, not too much fog. Tomorrow morning, a little bit more than that. For tomorrow, though, throughout the day, we're going to be warming up above average temperatures back in those upper 60s under a mostly cloudy sky once again. Our hour-by-hour forecast does show the warm-up on the way. Mainly cloudy skies, temperatures back in the 60s.
Thank you, Conrad. We'll get a look at that full 5-day forecast a little later on. Well, first thing this morning, Orrington and Hampden residents have been urged by the local fire department to keep their windows closed at this time, after firefighters from several communities spent the night at the scene of a stubborn fire in Orrington. An army of firefighters from 9 surrounding towns were called to the former Perk plant on Route 15 around 8:20 last night. There were reports of a large blaze that was eventually started burning through the steel roof of one of the buildings. The Perk plant was sold last year to Eagle Point Energy. The new company had been storing decomposing trash in the facility with hopes of eventually getting the plant up and running again. According to the Orrington Fire Department, this fire is contained, but the 40-foot pile of trash is still burning and could take several days to fully extinguish. Air quality monitoring is expected to be set up in Orrington and Hampden this morning as well. We'll have more information on the fire as soon as it's available.
Well, meanwhile, a flagger working on road construction in Orland was hit by a truck and killed Tuesday morning. It happened just before 7 o'clock on Acadia Highway. Lieutenant Brian Archer with the Hancock County Sheriff's Office says 24-year-old Charles Resch of Searsport was directing traffic when that crash happened. Archer says one lane was closed because of paving, and a truck driven by 70-year-old Clint Claggett hit Resch as it was traveling in that open lane. Resch was taken to Northern Light Maine Coast Hospital in Ellsworth, where he died from his injuries. Maine State Police reconstructed the crash, which is still under investigation this morning.
A Holden man accused of hitting and seriously injuring a man with his car in Brewer last year was sentenced yesterday at the Penobscot County Courthouse. David McKenzie was convicted this past August of aggravated operating under the influence, aggravated assault, leaving the scene of an accident, causing serious bodily injury or death, and criminal operating under the influence. Charges were first brought against McKenzie after he hit an elderly man with his car and left him lying in the roadway on Eastern Avenue back in July of 2023. Yesterday, he was sentenced to 6 years with all but 15 months suspended and 3 years of probation. The state argued that at the time, Mackenzie drank 12 22-ounce beers over a 6-hour period before driving. According to the deputy district attorney, the state hopes this will serve as a message to deter others from driving under the influence.
From our perspective, we're hopeful that the sentence that's put in place is enough to deter Mr. Mackenzie from doing anything like this in the future, and enough to put the community on notice that they cannot be engaging in this type of conduct.
Rucci says after Mackenzie serves 15 months, he'll be released but remains under the supervision of the Department of Corrections for his remaining time.
Well, as Maine prepares to mark 1 year since the Lewiston mass shooting, a prayer service was held outside of the State House to remember and to heal. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard has the story.
Peace, healing, and unity coming together to mark 1 year after Maine's deadliest mass shooting. That was the message at the Maine Council of Churches multi-faith prayer held at the State House on Tuesday.
This past year has seemed like the world has tipped off its axis, upending routines, rending time, shifting all that was stable under our feet.
According to Jane Field, the executive director of the Maine Council of Churches, while time can help heal wounds, the first year after a traumatic event such as the October 25th mass shooting can actually reopen grief and trauma, which is why it was so important to organize a multi-faith prayer service for the Maine people.
We had Roman Catholics, Quakers, Unitarians, an imam from the Muslim community, somebody from the Jewish community in Maine, Protestants, all joining together and expressing our concern, our care, and our desire for healing and hope, even in the midst of tragedy. A balm to the pain of grieving is belonging to a community of people who are willing to help carry the weight, to relieve our broken hearts of the ache that comes with losing someone we love.
The 45-minute service was split up into 3 key focus areas to help those who may find comfort in their words.
And so, beloved, we have remembered, we have grieved, and now we heal. We continue to heal together.
And if you or a loved one are still experiencing that trauma and that grief, as we approach October 25th, Field says it's important to talk about it. Talk about it with someone that you trust, such as a loved one, a religious leader, or a mental health professional, such as reaching out to the Mental Health Crisis Helpline by calling or texting 988. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
October is National Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, and Tuesday afternoon, family, friends, and community members walked through downtown Bangor to honor and remember Virginia Cookson, a Bangor woman who was killed in her home last week. Our Doug Banks has the story.
In Maine, 50% of homicides are domestic violence related, which is really a sobering thought.
This has got to end. Maine has got to start taking domestic abuse seriously.
October 1st marks the beginning of National Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. Tuesday also marks nearly a week since Virginia Cookson was found dead in her Bangor home. The domestic violence resource nonprofits Finding Our Voices and Partners for Peace, along with Cookson's loved ones, and Richard Thorpe's ex-wife Darcia Maney, all joined together at West Market Square and walked through downtown Bangor. Thorpe is being held without bail at the Penobscot County Jail for allegedly murdering Cookson.
I almost reached out to her to warn her, and I didn't. And that's where my guilt comes in.
Maney was married to Thorpe for 5 years. She says Thorpe abused her too.
I was on death's door when my 5-year-old walked in and saved my life. Breaks my heart every day. Nobody knows what it's like to know you might have been able to help somebody and you didn't, because you didn't think she'd believe you. And now she's not here. And that's why I'm here, because I want to be her voice. It's not fair to her daughter, her family, her friends, and for them to reach out to me over this is amazing.
She needs to know that we love her. I love her with all my heart. And today I got the call, my heart was ripped out of my chest.
If Virginia was here today, what would you tell her?
What would I tell her? come home with me. I'll keep you safe.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
To learn more about the resources provided by Finding Our Voices and Partners for Peace, those can be found on our website.
Meanwhile, in other news this morning, Down East Emergency Medical Institute, also known as DEME, is a nonprofit that, among other things, does search and rescue work across the country. And now they're pitching in with the relief efforts underway in multiple states following Hurricane Helene. They're flying 5 or 6 of their aircraft into the impacted zones and delivering supplies. A DEME volunteer who actually lives in the Asheville area, has been communicating with them and letting them know what and where the needs are. Director Richard Bowie says they have connections in other states like Georgia and Florida who have been helping with logistics. Bowie says they needed funds for fuel for their aircraft, so they've also set up a GoFundMe page. He talked about what their people on the ground are seeing.
They're really, really bad. It's far worse than we're hearing. There's a much more loss of life than anybody anticipates. Like with Katrina, when we were with that response, the numbers are going to keep rising. And sadly, I think we're going to see a bad outcome for a lot of people. Entire valleys are just washed right out. I mean, there's nothing. You can imagine the Penobscot Valley just being cleared of all people.
Well, Bowie says roads and infrastructure, including water systems, are destroyed. So one of the biggest needs right now is clean drinking water. Bowie says they're flying in numerous cases of water. He also says Mainers can contribute to the effort by donating to that GoFundMe page to buy more fuel.
Mainers can help with fuel funds. That's the biggest thing. We got to keep this thing pushed forward. It's a lot of aircraft moving all the time. Some of these aircraft are cycling back and forth 4 and 5 times a day. So they're doing bringing as much equipment and goods in as they can before the night falls. And remember, when night falls down there, the infrastructure is gone, so there's nothing. It's pitch black.
Oh, we have also set up a link to the GoFundMe page on our website at foxbangor.com for those who would like to contribute.
People don't know if their neighbors are okay. There's no clean drinking water. There's no food. It's a nightmare.
Some people are just still cut off from the world. We don't even know if they're still there or not.
Right, because cell towers have been knocked down.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time.
Yep. All right, the time now is 8:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a recently released study on Maine roads is saying we need some major improvements.
We'll have the story coming up. We'll also hear about that and your forecast as well before we take the break. Today is a mostly cloudy day with highs near 63 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight. You might see some areas of fog too. Lows dropping down to the upper 40s. Tomorrow, much like today, a mostly cloudy day on the way for Thursday with highs near 68. We'll be right back.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Finding the right vehicle for you and your family can be a daunting task. At Varney Buick GMC, our expert staff is here to make the journey as painless as possible. Our goal is to get you and your family in a vehicle that will best fit into your lifestyle. Communication is key, and our team makes sure to be completely transparent throughout the process, informing you on all of your options. Come experience Varney value, only at Varney Buick GMC.
Every Cape Cod original chip is made with just potatoes, oil, and sea salt. And yet, there's nothing else like it. Cape Cod chips. Savor what's special.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
The brand new Chung Lee Chinese restaurant, located in the Waterville Concourse, offers truly delicious, authentic cooking with the best poo-poo platter in the area. Lunch specials and dinner combinations available for dine-in, takeout, and delivery.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Talented head chefs, right?
Big egos mean big blow-ups for Gordon.
Where is the passion?
Hell's Kitchen head chefs only. All new Thursdays on Fox.
It's Fox College Football Friday, and it's a primetime Big Ten clash. In his chase for a Heisman, Dylan Gabriel leads Oregon as they continue their fight towards the top spot in the nation. Touchdown! But Michigan State has their sights set on a huge upset. Fox College Football Friday kicks off at 9 Eastern.
Welcome back, everyone. According to a new study, the roadways and bridges in Maine are being used more than ever before. That also means in many cases, Maine's roads are in need of repair. A study done by TRIP, a national transportation research nonprofit, says 18% of roads in the Bangor area that the state maintains are in poor condition. 27% were graded in fair condition. The condition of bridges in the Bangor area shows much of the same.
The report found that in the Bangor area, 18% of bridges are rated in poor condition and in need of immediate repair, and another 62% are rated in fair condition.
According to the study, the state of Maine has spent $6.8 billion on road projects since 2018. TRIP says the improvements made in Maine to its transportation network have been helpful, but the state continues to face transportation challenges, and it will be critical that funding is available.
One state representative decided to kick off the month of October in a patriotic way by organizing a flag wave. Representative Jim Thorne was joined by a few community members who stood alongside Route 2 in Herman, waving both Maine and American flags. Thorne says this is something he often does on military remembrance days and right around elections to connect with the communities he serves.
This is a very good way to connect with the community. They see folks holding the flag and waving, and it's very patriotic and neighborly and promotes good welfare between people. So that's why I like to do it.
According to Thorne, the flag waves are not politically motivated and anyone is welcome to take part in them. He says check out his social media accounts to learn when another one is planned. His message to all Mainers right now ahead of the election: get out and vote.
One of Sangerville's oldest buildings is on the Maine Preservation 2024 list of most endangered historic places. Townspeople say although it hasn't been used in the past 2 years, it still has many useful years ahead. Our Jody Hersey takes us there.
You would not be able to build a building like this today.
Back in 1901, the town of Sangerville paid close to $12,000 to build the Sangerville Town Hall. This 2.5-story multi-use building used to be home to the Selectman's office, a library, as well as an upstairs auditorium and stage. The last major renovations on this historic building were done back in 1992. Gerald Peters was part of the renovation team.
It's a beautiful old building. I see it when it was stripped out on the inside, and it's very well framed, well put together.
However, as it stands today, the insurance company won't let us pass the front door.
So this building to me is always kind of the iconic center of Sangerville, and I always felt it was too bad watching it kind of slowly work its way into disrepair.
The town's insurer dropped coverage due to concerns with the building's foundation, roof, and auditorium balcony, which is why the town hall made it onto the 2024 Maine Preservation list of most endangered historic places. It's also why the town's municipal office was moved to a different location.
Our last town meeting, the town hall committee came up with a proposal, and it was a citizen's petition to allocate $440,000 out of our reserve funds for renovation work on the building.
Many longtime residents like Gerald Peters say this gem is worth saving.
Without a sense of history, everything we do today is in vain.
In Sangerville, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Now, hopefully they keep that around. I hate to see those buildings gone because once they are gone, they're gone forever, and it really changes the character of a town when they're gone.
That's a strikingly unique building as well. It's stunning.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:19. After the break, at least 166 people have been killed due to Hurricane Helene as crews are still searching for survivors.
We'll have the very latest coming up on Good Morning Maine.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
A new law that outlawed abortion past 6 weeks in all cases.
These laws make me sick and heartbroken.
The government shouldn't be in the examining room.
It's extremists that don't allow women to have choice.
It's none of your business.
Austin Terrio is on the same side as the extremists who want to have a national abortion ban.
And these extremists, they're going to try to control women.
What else will they ban? What else will they monitor? What other privacy will we lose? Austin Terrio scares me.
Class-leading safety features at every turn. A Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Hood is the cottage cheese lovers love. Start with our award-winning country style. It's delicious on its own, or like this. That. Even, sure. Plus, it's got more protein than hummus and less sugar than yogurt. Then there's Hood's flavors. We expertly blend in real fruit or savory herbs for an unbeatable taste combination you can't recreate at home. Now that's cottage cheese. Hood cottage cheese. Always good, always Hood.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Ready to conquer the trails? At Huff Power Sports, we've got you covered. Gear up with snowmobile accessories and check out our unbeatable deals on K&M ATV and UTV vehicles. Plus, our expert service team will keep you running all season long. Huff Power Sports, where adventure meets performance.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
The rescue and recovery continues in western North Carolina after Helene causes widespread flooding and damage there. The storm destroyed roads and bridges and knocked out power. The damage has cut off communities in western North Carolina from the rest of the country, and at least 166 people across 6 states have died as a result of the storm.
Still just blows me away. I'm continuing to see videos that people snapped during the height of the storm coming through. Just unbelievable. Normal neighborhoods that never see any flooding. Raging rivers right down the middle of their dooryard.
Right.
You know, so.
There wouldn't have been anything they could do to prepare. They just could have watched. All they were able to do is watch rising rivers that normally people were used to seeing be quite calm. You know, I think even meteorologists who were watching this very closely, intently, they thought, you know, the areas right off the Gulf were going to get hit. But it was completely shocking and surprising, and they weren't able to prepare. Like, what can sandbags do in an instance like this?
Nothing. Nothing really. You know.
Right.
Anyway, it's just a horrible situation down there, and I don't think we have a full scope of how destructive that storm is, but we're getting a good picture of it.
Yes, Asheville underwater. Yeah. Okay, the time now is 8:22.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
All right, our Maine weather this morning is brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the perfect fit for your new fall footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. All right, friends, we are looking at some cooler temps out there starting out our Wednesday. It's middle of the week. We are looking at 44 degrees in Rockland, 46 degrees in Bar Harbor, 45 in Machias, and same story here in town. We're looking at those mid-40s, mainly taking over the state, but there, of course, are some 30s where we see these darker blue colors. That's indicating a lot cooler air. Bundle up, my friends. We're talking fall weather making a arrival. Now, our average high is right around 64 degrees, right? So today we're going to be closer to average, well above average Thursday into Friday. Once again, closer to average by Saturday into Sunday, maybe a couple of degrees above average by Sunday. And then Monday into Tuesday, that's when we're talking even cooler temperatures. Check this out. Some of these are showing some 50s making their way back into the forecast by Tuesday. Of course, that's still a week away. We'll keep an eye on things, but yes, cooler weather will be back, especially by next week. So enjoy these 60s, close to 70-degree temperatures while they are here. Now, a little bit of rain showers up north, right? Closer to Canada, southern parts of Canada, Pennsylvania, once again into Jersey. We're looking at a couple of sprinkles out there. Nothing heavy at all. No thunderstorms, of course. This is just some lighter sprinkles in the area, mainly just some thicker clouds. Speaking of thicker clouds, we're going to get those thicker clouds the next couple of days. Dew points will begin to rise just a bit, especially Friday into Saturday morning. We're looking at a little bit more elevated dew points, still nothing too crazy. We're looking at comfortable levels all through this week, through the weekend, and into beginning of next week. Now let's talk winds, right? I don't have to hold my hat for today. We're just going to see a light breeze, kind of like right now. Everyone's pretty much right around that 3 to 5 mile per hour range. Millinocket area is not seeing a wind at all right now. Machias into Rockland, Waterville as well. You are very calm outside. Just a light breeze out there for today. Tonight, a light breeze, and then tomorrow, a little bit more of a gusty wind, where wind gust will be right around that 15 to 20 mile per hour range. For today, though, not quite. We're just looking at a light breeze out of the southeast, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures closer to average, back in those low to mid 60s. Now for tonight though, mid to upper 40s, partly cloudy skies, areas of dense fog, yes, that will be in the area. Calm conditions. For tomorrow though, upper 60s, mostly cloudy skies, a light breeze once again, a little bit more of a gusty wind compared to today. Our extended forecast outlook is showing a warm up on the way, 71 on Friday, more chances of showers Friday night into Saturday.
Washington works for the wealthy and elites in places like New York City, while leaving us behind.
Congress is broken. It's not getting the job done. We need both parties to work together to lower electric bills, stop the flow of fentanyl, end the Biden-Harris inflation, and protect Social Security.
Congress should work for us. We must bring balance to Washington and put people over politics.
I'm Austin Theriault, and I approve this message.
The Legacy Sandwich, where you can find quality, homemade sandwiches that are made to order. When it comes to food, we take it seriously. That's why we serve shredded chicken and turkey on our sandwiches, and our bacon is cooked fresh daily. To pair with your sandwich, we also have a selection of homemade soups, macaroni salad, and baked goods for dessert. The Legacy Sandwich, voted Bangor's best deli sandwich shop for the past 12 years running. It's not just a sandwich, it's a legacy. Give us a call today.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of
207 Collectibles, Bob's Small Engine Sales and Service, Coastal Auto Parts, Dave's Auto Repair and Towing, Hannaford Bucksport, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating, and the John R. Crooker Agency.
I lived and worked in Maine most of my life, and now I'm getting by on Social Security. People like me are struggling to heat the house in the winter. Energy prices are out of control, and it's devastating for seniors. But Jared Golden voted for Biden and Harris's tax that raises heating prices even higher. It's outrageous. The Liberals changed Congressman Golden. He's leaving Mainers out in the cold.
Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Alarming new developments from the Middle East as the situation there grows worse. Iran launching ballistic missile attacks against Israel now. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest.
The Israeli army says close to 200 missiles were fired at the Jewish state on Tuesday. The country's Iron Dome missile defense system intercepting the weapons in the night sky, while air raid sirens wailed and explosions above Tel Aviv with flashes of light from the intercepting rockets. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said the attack was in retaliation for the killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in Beirut last week.
I think this is a start of something more. It's going to be a little bit larger, and I think you have to expect that the Israelis will respond in a very forceful manner.
The barrage of missiles from Iran comes a day after Israeli forces began ground operations in Lebanon. Israeli forces are trying to rid southern Lebanon of Hezbollah, so some 60,000 Israelis can go back to their homes near the border.
We are declassifying a series of IDF operations conducted since the beginning of the war, aimed at dismantling Hezbollah's terrorist infrastructure and capabilities.
Nearly 24 Lebanese border communities have been ordered by Israel to evacuate.
As the race to the White House heads into its final stretch, vice presidential candidates Tim Walz and J.D. Vance make their final pitch to voters on the debate stage. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
No audience, no notes, and unlike the past two presidential debates, no muted mics or live fact-checking. Those were the ground rules for the first and likely the only vice presidential debate of this election season. With the backdrop of an ongoing port strike, rising tensions in the Middle East, and deadly flooding here at home, Vice Presidential nominees Tim Walz and J.D. Vance wasted no time diving into issues in their first face-to-face meeting in New York.
When people say that Donald Trump's economic plan doesn't make sense, I say look at the record. He delivered rising take-home pay for American workers.
Kamala Harris has said to do the things she wants to do, we'll just ask the wealthiest to pay their fair share.
The candidates clashed on stage, making their final pitch for why their ticket would do a better job in the White House.
We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's border policies.
And he promised you, America, how easy it would be. I'll build you a big, beautiful wall, and Mexico will pay for it. Less than 2% of that wall got built, and Mexico didn't pay a dime.
Walz attacked Vance for his stance on reproductive rights.
The point on this is there's a continuation of these guys to try and tell women or to get involved. I use this line on this, just mind your own business on this.
Meanwhile, Vance got personal.
As I read the Minnesota law that you signed into law, the statute that you signed into law, it says that a doctor who presides over an abortion where the baby survives, the doctor is under no obligation to provide life-saving care to a baby who survives a botched late-term abortion. That is, I think,
That's
whether
not
you're
true.
Next, candidates will head back to the campaign trail. Vice President Harris plans to travel to Georgia Wednesday to survey damage from Hurricane Helene. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, around half of U.S. ocean shipping operations have halted. Port workers are demanding increased wages as importers warn the dispute will increase prices for consumers. Fox Business correspondent Grady Trimble reports from the Port of Baltimore on where those negotiations stand.
From Texas to Maryland and New Jersey to Maine, a massive and potentially costly strike is on, as 45,000 workers at 3 dozen East and Gulf Coast ports walk off the job. The International Longshoremen's Association is demanding higher pay and less reliance on automated machinery. The union's fiery president fully aware of the havoc the walkout is causing.
People never gave a about us until now. Cars won't come in, food won't come in, clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world.
Elon Musk and other critics are pointing out Daggett's union salary is more than $700,000 a year, according to a Department of Labor filing from 2023. The two sides don't appear to be at the bargaining table today. Industry groups for retailers, manufacturers, and wholesalers are calling on the Biden-Harris administration to reverse course and invoke the Taft-Hartley Act, forcing workers back to their jobs while negotiations take place.
As we're getting this close to the election, it sounds like they don't want to make their friends in big labor unhappy. But in the meantime, the rest of America is going to be unhappy.
Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a Republican who has the local union's endorsement in his Senate race, standing with picketing workers Tuesday, refusing to criticize the administration.
I don't think it should be a Republican-Democrat thing. I think we should all be just trying to see if we can't get these things resolved, because it's going to be important to the economy.
Should they invoke the Taft-Hartley Act?
I'm not sure at this point if that's necessary or not.
By some estimates, there's up to $5 billion at stake for the U.S. economy each day this strike lasts. In the meantime, businesses are scrambling to find other ways to move their products into and out of the United States. At the Port of Baltimore, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
And coming up on the second half of the newscast, the Challenger Learning Center is celebrating 20 years since it opened. And with recent funding from NASA, it should see them through 20 more years.
We'll have the story coming up on Good Morning Maine.
The past few years have been challenging for law enforcement. But one thing we've never had to worry about is whether Jared Golden will watch our backs in Washington. Jared isn't afraid to stand up to his own party to keep Mainers safe, voting for billions of dollars for state and local law enforcement and to secure the border. Austin Terrio is something else. He voted against millions of dollars for the state police because the budget came from the other party. We need leaders who put public safety first, and that's Jared Golden.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider and the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our Warrior Course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. It's also the International Walk to School Day.
You may notice more children skipping riding with the parents and instead hitting the streets for a walk to school. This holiday was created to encourage kids to get some exercise and to do something positive to protect the environment. The event takes place in more than 40 countries. Students are walking to inspire conversations about creating safer communities, environmental conservation, and health-conscious transportation habits. Just make sure you look both ways before you cross the street, and if possible, bring an adult with you.
Yeah, watch out for those kids this morning. All right, time for history. On this day in history, back in 1780, British Army Major John Andre was hanged as a spy in New York after conspiring with Benedict Arnold to surrender West Point to the British. In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson had a serious stroke at the White House that left him paralyzed on his left side. In 1944, General Dwight D. Eisenhower warned about the risk of shell shock, a condition that can cause soldiers to suffer severe psychological breakdowns after prolonged exposure to combat. It became a real problem during World War I. They got to the point where they realized that these people can only be sent into combat for so many months or so many days before they start feeling the effects of that, and so they made some changes following that. Of course, we really call that post-traumatic stress disorder these days.
There wasn't really treatment or understanding of that until after our war in Vietnam.
Yeah, terrible situation. All right, in 1944, German troops crushed the 2-month-old Warsaw Uprising, during which 250,000 people were killed.
In 1950, the Peanuts comic strip by Charles Schulz made its first appearance in newspapers. In 1959, the groundbreaking television series The Twilight Zone appeared for the first time. And in 1965, Gatorade was first tested at a college football game between the Florida Gators and Louisiana State University. Developed in their own lab, the new sports drink was developed to fight dehydration and restore nutrients to allow players to perform at a high level.
It wasn't until this day, you know, Gatorade's been around forever, it seems, but it wasn't until today I knew it was named after the Gators.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
I get it. In 1985, Hollywood icon Rock Hudson became the first major U.S. celebrity to pass away following a battle with AIDS. And in 2020, President Donald Trump was injected with an experimental drug combination after contracting COVID-19.
Today's birthdays include photographer Annie Leibovitz, who is 75 years old today. Rocker Sting is 73. We discovered last hour his real name's Gordon.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't born Sting.
No, he was born Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Sting has a better ring when you're up there rocking and rolling.
Kind of seems like the name a dude would name himself and not a mother would name her child.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably his mom was like, "What are you calling yourself these days?"
Right.
So, and finally, talk show host Kelly Ripa is 54 years old today.
She's so funny. I love her.
Yeah. Happy birthday to them.
All right, moving on now. It looks like kind of chilly. Cold.
Yeah, a little chilly. You'll notice it as you head out for the day.
Yeah.
Temperatures only getting up into the 60s.
I know.
Guess we have to expect it. October is here.
I know. It's a good day for a sweater.
Yeah.
Here's Conrad Sapinski with that forecast.
All right, our first weather this morning is brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the perfect fit for your new fall footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. All right, my friends, good morning. It is Wednesday, but another good start to the day. Of course, a little bit cooler. We are seeing a bit more clouds outside. At least it's not raining, right? Of course, it's not snowing with that 4-letter word. I don't even want to talk about that just yet. Now, back in the 40s here in town, right up at Rockland and then into Bar Harbor, Machias, you're seeing some cooler temps north of Machias, even some 30s outside. But overall, though, 40s taking over the state of Maine. Lots of cold air, not only in Maine, but all over the country. Take a look at this. It's a little push of some cooler air right down from Canada. We're talking 40s and even some 50s. Of course, Florida's like 40s and 50s. What do you mean? We're close to 80 degrees to start out the day. So, of course, Florida is nice and toasty, but up north, Midwest, upper Midwest, you are a bit chilly. And this is the beginning of that cooler air making its way down south. Now, for today, though, folks, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be closer to average, right at 63 degrees, just a light breeze out of the southeast, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, for tonight, though, we're looking at mid to upper 40s. Partly cloudy skies. Yes, once again, we are looking at areas of dense fog, calm conditions as well. So this morning, not too much fog. Tomorrow morning, a little bit more than that. For tomorrow, though, throughout the day, we're going to be warming up above average temperatures back in those upper 60s under a mostly cloudy sky once again. Our hour-by-hour forecast does show the warm-up on the way. Mainly cloudy skies, temperatures back in the 60s.
Thank you, Conrad. Well, the Challenger Learning Center of Maine is celebrating 20 years of inspiring the state's youth to explore the world of STEM. The center recently received funding through NASA that they hope will help set them up for the next 20 years.
Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
It was back in 2004 when the first group of students took flight on an educational mission of discovery at the Challenger Learning Center in Bangor.
20 years of the Challenger Learning Center makes me feel a little bit old because I was here 20 years ago as a student when I was 10, and it was the best experience of my life.
Their simulators offer captivating hands-on learning that introduce students to career opportunities in STEM work.
There's no other school or program that I'm aware of that offers this sort of a truly hands-on, minds-on approach for students. And there are people like me that 20 years later can still remember every second that we've spent in this center.
Last year alone, they welcomed over 8,000 students and hope to inspire more to search for work right here in Maine.
I think it's very important that Maine have a pipeline of people who are ready to move into these new jobs that are different than my generation or our parents' generation.
The center recently launched a $3.75 million campaign to help expand their mission, and have already met $2.2 million of that goal thanks to funding from NASA.
Our simulators have been here for 20 years, and this funding is going to help us get brand new simulators to bring Maine students in to do NASA-like missions.
And they are looking forward to many more decades of educating and inspiring.
My hope for the next 20 years is that in 20 years from now, we'll have more people like me who want to come back here and support the Challenger Learning Center and still feel like a kid when they walk through the door.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Really is an amazing place. You said you went there when you were a young student too, right?
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, though, I'm not super science-minded, and I remember that I was more focused on the boy that I had a crush on rather than the science.
That makes sense.
So
in other words, a typical kid, right? Yeah.
But it was still really fun and memorable.
Yeah, good, good.
All right, right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
When Angus got elected, he said he wanted to stand up for Maine's veterans. He wanted to give back to those that served, and I believe he's done that time and time again, year after year. From healthcare access to burn pit exposure, as well as housing, he's helped veterans every step of the way. I can't think of a better person to go back to Washington, D.C. and fight for us. And I can't be more proud to support this fine gentleman. I'm Travis Mills.
And I'm Angus King, and I'm proud to approve this message.
Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus and your favorites, Bigfoot, Megarex, Tiger Shark, and more. Be amazed by the high flyers of freestyle motocross and the all-new fire and frost-breathing robot, Arctic Gone. Plus the pre-show VIP and Power Smashers pre-show before each performance. Kids tickets start at just $12.50. Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Truck toys come to life at Cross Insurance Center, October 18th through the 20th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
If you've been injured in an accident, get Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm working for you today. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, fighting and winning for injured Mainers for nearly 50 years. Selected best lawyers in America for personal injury. Recognized for professional excellence. With more than $500 million collected for injured Mainers and over 25,000 victories for Maine families. Call Joe for a free case evaluation and get the Bornstein Advantage.
Ready to refresh your home? Fall into savings with incredible deals at the Furniture Gallery. Shop new arrivals from top brands like Ashley, Serta, Restonic, Nectar, and Franklin. Fall in love with unbeatable deals like our sofa and love seat sets for only $9.99 or sofas starting at $3.99. Indulge in ultimate comfort with over 150 recliner styles starting at just $299. My family and I are committed to giving you the best value for your money at the Furniture Gallery. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery.
I'm gonna say garbage truck.
You are correct. Pictionary.
When somebody steals, it is so much fun.
Fun for them.
Yeah. Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the ice because it is game week. Maine men's ice hockey opens their season on Saturday, and fans will get their first look at this year's team. Our Jack Webb has the story.
I think we're all itching to play this first game and get things going.
On Saturday night, Black Bear fans will be introduced to some new faces at Alfond Arena. One of those faces is former University of Massachusetts forward Taylor McCarr.
My time was good at UMass, but I'm really excited to start working here and make something happen.
McCarr was recruited to UMass by Ben Barr during Barr's time as an assistant for the Minutemen. He says that prior relationship played a huge part in his decision to choose Maine.
Look at this staff, the arena, the culture of this group, and just thought it'd be the right fit for me. You know, having history with Ben Barr recruiting me to UMass before and stuff like that, I talked to him a lot.
I'm close to the family, so you know it was pretty. It didn't, you know, they know me, and you know I think they know the kind of program that we're gonna probably have here. So you know, we were excited to add him.
The 6'4", 210-pound forward looks to bring a physical and heavy game to the program. The type of game a team can lean on come March.
I'm looking to bring a power forward kind of play to this team. Be a guy that they can lean on, PK, power play and stuff like that, and just overall help the team and get us as far as we can.
You know, we hope that he has his best year in college hockey this year. He's a big kid that has a ton of upside. He probably hasn't reached his potential yet. Our job is to try to pull that out of him.
That type of play runs in the family, as Taylor's brother Cale is a Stanley Cup champion and star defenseman on the Colorado Avalanche.
It's just great learning all the little tips and tricks and always talking to each other and just, you know, always grabbing some from his game, just learning from him all the time growing up and even to now.
McCarr wasn't the only transfer brought in this summer. Maine welcomed 4 other NCAA transfers, including an additional 3 forwards and 1 defenseman. The Black Bears say the transfers have meshed into the culture of the program, and that Saturday will be a good test to see where they're at.
They've all fit into the culture great. You know, how fast can they get up to speed with, you know, how hard we do everything? You know, we'll see. I think we'll see on Saturday, like, you know, where we're at.
Maine drops the puck at 7 p.m. against AIC. From Orono, Jack Webb, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Certainly excited for hockey season to get underway, but some fall sports. Let's go to some soccer now, and we'll hit up a Class C matchup up in Orono. Holton Shire is coming down to take on the Red Riots of Orono High School. First half, Riots up 1, and they're looking for more. Nice movement finds Bergen Soderberg. He fires, but Carter Smith is there for the save. Riots again now. Ethan Riley and Soderberg playing a little two-man game. And look at the footwork from Riley. A little hesitation, the blow by, and then fires with his left and gets it to go. Orono leads 2-0. Here come the Riots again. Wesley Krause has it. He gives to Antonio Mendez Camasis. And Antonio is going to get a shot off before going out of bounds, and he scores. The Riots take a 3-0 lead, and that offense would just keep coming. Nick Agrawal, a nice ball to Jay Tweedy. He shoots and he scores, and Orono goes on to win 8-0. Over to Cameron Stadium now for a girls' soccer clash between Messalonsky and Bangor. Rams up first half looking for more. Clara Oldenburg takes it in, crosses over to Tegan Atherley. She fires, but look at the diving save from Kiana Carrier, diving across the goal to deny the shot. Rams again. Oldenburg again to Emily Adams. She fires this one, and it just sneaks in off the inside post. Rams get one more before the break. Second half now. Bangor again. Gabby Roy over to Oldenburg. She winds up, she fires, and blasts this one home. That's her third goal of the night. Bangor up big, and their offense would roll. This time, it's Georgie Stevenson getting it to go with the left foot. Rams go on to win this one 8-0. Over to Pottle Field, Herman hosting Belfast in field hockey. First half, Peyton Wadsworth has it. Over to Bree Shorey. She fires, but Lawless DeRosiers gets a stick on it, and Allison Paul is there for the save. Here come the Lions again. Shorey, a little give and go with Ava Markham, gets it back and dances through the defense for the goal. Belfast leads 3-0. Markham now to Wadsworth. She shoots. It ends up in close with Bree Shorey. She fires and she scores again. And then here come the Lions one more time. Markham, she's going to start it off again, and she's going to get that one over to Shorey. Look at this no-look pass to Wadsworth, and she scores. The Lions go on to win it. 9-0 is the final. And for some other scores from around the area, Brewer Field Hockey, another shutout for the Witches. They win 3-0. Ellsworth Boys Soccer wins 7-0. Dexter wins 3-0 in girls soccer. They keep rolling, and Hamden Academy boys take a victory over Skowhegan. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Ye Olde General, located in Carmel, has everything you could ever need. Whether it be kerosene, regular or ethanol-free gasoline, wood pellets, a fresh cooked pizza, or fried food, they've got you covered. Looking to get a stiff drink after work? Ye Olde General is an agency liquor store with a great selection of alcohol. Ye Olde General can help with your next home project, carrying carpentry supplies from hammers and nails to specialty nuts and bolts. They have what you need to get the job done. Stop by Ye Olde General today. If you don't think they'll have it, they probably do.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Backed by popular demand, the Lucerne Inn in Dedham presents its amazing Sunday brunch. Join us every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a culinary experience like no other. Indulge in an exquisite selection of dishes, all while enjoying breathtaking views. Seating is limited, so reservations are recommended, but walk-ins are always welcome. The Lucerne Inn Sunday Brunch, where great food meets a spectacular view. Call today to reserve your spot.
We have 30,000 ways to thank our loyal fans.
Courtroom leader, the judge.
Win one of 3 $10,000 cash prizes.
You just won the game, guys!
It's the 30K Thanks Arama giveaway.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
The Bangor Historical Society is getting some help to finish a major renovation project. The National Park Service is giving them $100,000 from the congressionally directed spending program to restore the portico at the Thomas A. Hill House. Total cost, $350,000. Bangor Historical Society President Ristine Barr says the award from the National Park Service will enable them to go ahead with the work.
The engineers discovered that the portico foundation is failing. So it's a much needed project. It has become very dangerous for the building. It threatens the structural integrity of the building.
Well, a number of other projects have already been completed, including replacing the fence on the property. Barr says the portico project will involve putting in a new foundation and replacing some of the columns. She says they hope to stay open to the public while that work is being done.
Wow, that's a big project.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on. It's going to be kind of a chillier day in comparison to the past couple.
It's going to be cloudy out there.
Yeah, let's get that forecast with meteorologist Conrad Sapinski.
All right, our main weather this morning is brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More. Need the perfect fit for your new fall footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. All right, friends, we are looking at some cooler temps out there starting out our Wednesday. It's middle of the week. We are looking at 44 degrees in Rockland, 46 degrees in Bar Harbor, 45 in Machias, and same story here in town. We're looking at those mid-40s mainly taking over the state, but there, of course, are some 30s where we see these darker blue colors. That's indicating a lot cooler air. Bundle Buckle up, my friends. We're talking fall weather making a arrival. Now, we're average highs right around 64 degrees, right? So today we're going to be closer to average, well above average Thursday into Friday. Once again, closer to average by Saturday into Sunday, maybe a couple of degrees above average by Sunday. And then Monday into Tuesday, that's when we're talking even cooler temperatures. Check this out. Some of these are showing some 50s making their way back into the forecast by Tuesday. Of course, that's still a week away. We'll keep an eye on things, but yes, cooler weather will be back, especially by next week. So enjoy these 60s, close to 70-degree temperatures while they are here. Now, a little bit of rain showers up north, right? Closer to Canada, southern parts of Canada, Pennsylvania, once again into Jersey. We're looking at a couple of sprinkles out there. Nothing heavy at all. No thunderstorms, of course. This is just some lighter sprinkles in the area, mainly just some thicker clouds. Speaking of thicker clouds, we're going to get those thicker clouds the next couple of days. Dew points will begin to rise just a bit, especially Friday into Saturday morning. We're looking at a little bit more elevated dew points, still nothing too crazy. We're looking at comfortable levels all through this week, through the weekend, and into beginning of next week. Now let's talk winds, right? I don't have to hold my hat for today. We're just going to see a light breeze, kind of like right now. Everyone's pretty much right around that 3 to 5 mile per hour range. Millinocket area is not seeing a wind at all right now. Machias into Rockland, Waterville as well. You are very calm outside. Just a light breeze out there for today. Tonight, a light breeze, and then tomorrow, a little bit more of a gusty wind, where wind gust will be right around that 15 to 20 mile per hour range. For today, though, not quite. We're just looking at a light breeze out of the southeast, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures closer to average, back in those low to mid 60s. Now for tonight though, mid to upper 40s, partly cloudy skies, areas of dense fog, yes, that will be in the area. Calm conditions. For tomorrow though, upper 60s, mostly cloudy skies, a light breeze once again, a little bit more of a gusty wind compared to today. Our extended forecast outlook is showing a warm up on the way, 71 on Friday, more chances of showers Friday night into Saturday.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Our country is counting on Bath Iron Works. 6,500 men and women building the most advanced naval ships in the world right here in Maine. So when extremist politicians threaten our jobs, I have to speak out. Austin-Ontario supported shutting down the government. We could have lost the Navy contract that keeps Bath Iron Works running. Austin-Ontario put his extreme agenda ahead of our jobs.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus and your favorites, Bigfoot, Megarex, Tiger Shark, and more. Be amazed by the high flyers of freestyle motocross and the all-new fire and frost-breathing robot, Arctic Gone. Plus the pre-show VIP and Power Smashers pre-show before each performance. Kids tickets start at just $12.50. Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Truck toys come to life at Cross Insurance Center, October 18th through the 20th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Somewhere in western Massachusetts or at the southern border of Vermont, a real-life treasure hunt is intensifying. Project Skydrop is the creation of New Hampshire-based game designer Jason Rohrer and California-based Tom Bailey. Every day, a map on their website is updated with a narrower circle indicating the possible area where the treasure may be hidden. The search area is now within Massachusetts. Project Skydrop estimates its treasure is worth nearly $27,000. In addition to the value of the golden treasure, organizers say they're also accumulating a bounty that will be paid out to the winner. As of Monday morning, the bounty was more than $72,000.
Ooh, that would come in handy.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and finally, Baltimore's Maryland Zoo has come up with a unique way to fund their conservation efforts. The zoo does it by selling artwork created by some of their own animals, including African elephants, giraffes, chimpanzees, penguins, and even otters. The zoo staff uses non-toxic paints, with the animals often walking over streaks or smears of paint and then creating a unique design of paper on paper. The artwork is generally 5x7 or 8x10, and animal lovers who buy the art also get a photograph of the animal and a certificate of authenticity. The zoo says 100% of the proceeds go to education, animal care, and conservation efforts for threatened and endangered species. I like that. I'd love to have a giraffe print up on my wall. Why not, you know?
That's super cute. I love it. I love that there's a certificate of authenticity. So
Yeah.
you know this was made by a real otter.
Yes, not the fake kind. It's
Right.
the real otters.
Right.
So,
Right.
cool.
All right. Looks like we're running out of time for today. If you missed anything, you can head to foxbangor.com.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Today on 25 Words or Less, still furious he wasn't cast as Gaston in Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast, it's Matt Eisman. And joining Matt are engaged couple Dylan and Grace. He knows all the big celebs in Hollywood. Unfortunately, our talent bookers do not. It's Tanner Thomason. And joining Tanner